What is the law? All right, thanks, Jerry. Our next guest wrote the highly anticipated biography of Elon Musk. Walter Isaacson joins us now. Sir, it's a great pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Great honor, Stuart. Thanks.
It's our honor, sir. Now then, tell me, please, what truly motivates Elon Musk?
You know, ever since he was a scrawny, beaten up little kid, very lonely, no friends in the bookstore down in South Africa, he had three great missions because he read the superhero comics and he read sci-fi. One was to reinvigorate space travel. The other was to have sustainable energy, not just electric vehicles, but solar roofs and battery packs and charging networks. And the third, y'all just talked about, he read Isaac Asimov's robot stories, and he was worried about artificial intelligence safety, whether the robots would turn on us. So now he's involved heavily in all three fields, most notably now in his new AI company.
What's his politics? He seems to be moving to the right on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Absolutely. He's been moving to the right for the past 3 years for a variety of reasons. He started off basically somebody who raised money for Barack Obama. But there were a couple of things that pushed him. One is he thought that the COVID lockdowns and the regulations were far too onerous and that government was creating more regulators, more referees than people who actually innovated. Secondly, he got slammed by a lot of Democrats, including Joe Biden. Thirdly, he went through a period in which his eldest child transitioned to becoming his daughter, Jenna, but also became very much of a Marxist in terms of hating capitalism. And he felt that there was a woke mind virus that she had gotten infected with in school. So all of these things make him mercurial. There are times when he's pretty moderate in the afternoon. He'll talk about politics. But if he gets into a dark mood, he's become more populist right in terms of everybody from Tucker Carlson to Bobby Kennedy Jr. Being amplified in his mind.
In the great scheme of things, in your opinion, is Elon Musk as important as Steve Jobs?
Yes, Steve Jobs brings us into the personal digital revolution. With computers, you can just plug in and they're friendly, and phones in your pocket and 1,000 songs in your pocket. That's huge. The whole app economy comes from that. I think in the future, the notion of getting us back into space, the notion of figuring out sustainable energy and creating real world AI, not these chatbot things that can answer your questions in text, but cars that can drive and robots that can navigate factories, that will end up being more consequential.
You must have sat down with him on frequent occasions to do the book. Did you enjoy it? Does he have a sense of humor? Is he the kind of guy you enjoy having dinner with?
Well, he's certainly, it's like being on a roller coaster ride. I didn't just have interviews with him. I spent 2 years by his side. I told him when we started this book, I don't want to do it based on 10 or 15 or 20 interviews. I want to be able to be morning, noon, and night, wherever I want, in any walk in the factory, any meeting, any dinner. And there were times when he's absolutely charismatic, truly visionary. There are times when he's in engineering mode and you go, oh my God, he's figured out how to deal with, say, the methane leak in this Raptor engine under Starship. And there are times when he goes into what Grimes, his girlfriend, calls demon mode. And then he's really unpleasant to watch because he can be tough.
This is fascinating. One day, perhaps, if you will accept the invitation, we'll bring you back. I'd love to have you back on the show.
Hey, always, always, Stuart.
Thank you very much indeed, Walter. Good to see you. Thank you, sir.